the Earth's inner core. That sounds like the plot of a Hollywood blockbuster. Scientists say our planet's solid core, which is actually disconnected from the rest of the Earth's layers, may actually have stopped rotating and could even reverse course. This is a new study. It was published Monday.
What's going on here? I don't know. Mantles, magnetic fields, and cosmic rays potentially may be involved. We conjecture ahead.
Although this is going to be weird, and it's going to be about a different.
Title of the conference was something like "Ground Truth" or "Turtles All the Way Down," and so it seems as though there's one rule ad. I don't think it rules them all, and it might be just hyper-rurial turtles all the way down.
Yes, it's on the back of an infinite number of hyper-rurial turtles.
Various people are commenting on the outrage of hacking the universe on a MacBook Air.
Yes. Good old Ragnaros. As we all know, the molten core apparently is very important for the Earth. Hey guys, what's going on? Memes here. So I was gonna do like some other Thad's equations and stuff like that, and I see something that's like the Earth's core stopped. I'm like, what? But then I'd seen other videos from like Anton Petrov. It's like there's vibrations to the air, and he did say something with the Earth's magnetic field flipping, like I don't know, like half a year or so ago. I'm just saying, apparently happens like every 70 years, but it's like, okay, when was the last time we had more advanced technology? Is it going to affect things? I mean, it's not like switching from analog to digital would do anything, or I don't know. People talk about those carry-on events. It's like, oh, there's a gigantic flare. It got close. How close? I don't know. Like millions of miles away? I don't know. I'm just saying it may be wise to upgrade and insulate some, I don't know, vital infrastructure. Just the opinion of a dude on the internet. But Whitechapel, welcome, my friend. Welcome, my friend. All right, so we're going to get into some very interesting things here. Okay, what the heck is the Earth's core? It was brought to us by NASA. Here's a it actually helps when I share, but here we go. So basically, here's a representation of the Earth's magnetic field. I totally also use it for the thumbnail. Okay, so again, this is to my knowledge, and we're going to add some speculation and conjecture in here, so take it for what it's worth. You got the Earth. The Earth is spinning. It's also kind of going around the sun at the same time. So the Earth spins, but the actual magnetic field is about 11.5 degrees off, as we can see here. So people will say, oh, we have these magnetic field lines, and apparently they're very important because we go to our friend Fraser Cain. Link to his channel on this video is in the doobly-doo below. All right, what are we talking about here? All right, it actually helps when I go back to the video.
Webb's fully operational again.
So basically,
Rolls-Royce is building a nuclear reactor
So basically, James Webb kind of had some malfunction. They're trying to figure out what was going on. So what was going, and Rolls-Royce is building a nuclear generator for the moon, apparently. Fascinating stuff.
Moon, and this
now I'm not saying that we're considering a moon base. It's not like any particular politician suggested that and been laughed out of basically the room and a lot of public. I don't know, like 8 years ago? Newt, you had a lot of ideas. Do I agree with everything you say and do? No. But I'm not seeing. We continue.
Space debris worst case scenario almost happened. All this and more in this week's episode of Space Bites.
Hold on, I should actually done the time. No, it's like 30 seconds there. There we go.
It was actually very short. So engineers were able to dig into the problem and figure out what had gone wrong.
What happened?
And the answer was a galactic cosmic ray. And these are particles with enormous amounts of energy that are being blasted out from an unknown source. Astronomers still aren't entirely sure. I mean, it probably has something to do with black holes or maybe magnets.
Oh, okay. So essentially, we don't know. The conjecture is What kind of knocked James Webb out, the space telescope out for a while? I don't know. Cosmic rays. What's that? High energy particles doing stuff and things, just mucking it all up. I'm like, okay. Let's say that there was a bunch of cosmic rays. It's not like if the Earth's core was getting ready to flip, it had a whole bunch of things that, I don't know, maybe a wee bit electromagnetic that may have thrown James Webb off. I hear these things called perturbations. I'm just saying, if you're kind of on the axis, what happens if the whole butterfly effect? Most butterflies, according to Professor Wolfram, for the poor butterflies, just flapping their wings probably doesn't do a whole much. What happens if there's like a supermassive black hole that just, as it was blasting out those rays that we kind of like saw at the end there, it's like, what if we just kind of got caught in a little bit of a swath and then the Earth's field went flip? So what might actually be going on here? We go to our friend of the New York Times. Some folks love them, some folks do not. That's totally fine. The Earth's inner core, a shifting, spinning mystery's latest twist. Researchers propose a model with 70-year rotation cycle of our planet's iron heart and report that we're in the middle of one of its big shifts. Oh, it's all fiery. It's kind of like Ragnaros. But imagine Earth's inner core. A dense center of planet has a heavy metal ballerina. The iron-rich dancer is capable of... Okay. Oh, jeez. That's a lot of flowery language, but essentially they're saying, oh, well, maybe it flipped. I'm like, shouldn't we be able to measure that? Isn't that something we could tell? Like if what was magnetic? No, wait a second. Does that change our compasses? I don't know. I mean, if the magnetic field flips, doesn't we just have the compass pointing the other direction? I mean, we have how long have we had compasses? Must not be more than 70 years. It's not like we've ever used them to navigate or anything. But okay, so that's apparently a thing. So to the knowledge of the stuff and things that we have going on, basically, if you have the Earth's core, and basically you got a big hunk of metal in the center, apparently, because it's pressure. So based on the science we know, you got an iron core. Okay, it's there, it's rotating, but the Earth is also rotating. And then we kind of have some lubrication as the molten core around it. Also composed of a whole bunch of metal and stuff. That's pretty cool. We go to our friend on the YouTubes. We go to Star Talk. So, Neil deGrasse Tyson, what's going on, my man?
Pretty cool.
That is.
So, another thing, we know from physics that moving electrical charges create magnetic fields.
Right.
Okay. Faraday first noticed this. And vice versa. Okay. So you can move a charge, there's a magnetic field that's created around it. You can take a charge.
So basically that whole electromagnetic thing, it's it's I think that's why lightning kind of ends up happening, Whitechapel. So yeah, pretty much everything affects everything. And that's the thing. Do I understand how all these different things work? No. But I hear a lot of smart people and I try to conceptualize in little chunks. It's like, all right, what's going on? We got different stuff. It's doing different things. I mean, that works for me. And then you can go into the nitty gritty of it. You learn as you go, and you don't need to memorize anything because we have the internet. I mean, as long as there's not a gigantic coronal mass ejection that knocks like our entire digital history away, that would be terrible. I'm just saying certain things might be worth investing in. But continue, sir.
Move it in a magnetic field, and the magnetic field will induce a current in the wire. So Faraday did this. So he had a magnetic field, took a wire, moved the wire through the magnetic field,
so you got the stuff that's a wire, and it's doing a thing. It's moving through the magnetic field, and apparently that helps create charge. That's frickin' sweet. All right, that's all I really needed to communicate from there. But okay, we're gonna go to Factnomenal. My opinion, a lot of clickbait, but at the same time, the visualizations are great, and they're not necessarily wrong in the total video. It's like they're saying, "Oh, this has been proven wrong." Well, what? Just I didn't really. I don't think I saw a question mark there all the time. Just maybe it's me. Maybe I'm being a negative Nancy. Okay, what's happening? Core reverse.
A recent study has shown that Earth's inner core is reversing its spin. You can think of the inner core as a solid iron and nickel marble at the center.
Okay. So mostly I'm using this for the representation. All right. You got a big chunk of metal there. We believe it's kind of solid-ish, we think. At least it's more dense. Okay. And you got this around it. So basically you got like a whole bunch of liquid metal. All right, that's molten. So you got this spinning. This is kind of undulating around doing fluid things. And then you got the mantle, which apparently once you start digging down further and further through the crust from a video I'd watched, I think, what was it, like 20-something miles down or 20 kilometers or something like that, it starts to get really, really hot. Like really hot, like 200-300 degrees centigrade. I'm like, I think that boils water, and it's almost plastic-like. That's why like the bits keep breaking and we couldn't go further. It's like getting stuck in the muck. Okay. So how the heck could the Earth's core end up changing? Okay, so from what we learned from Fraser, Cain, there may have been, I don't know, some cosmic rays there. Again, that's my conjecture on my part. Again, it's probably going to happen anyway. It's different scientists were saying. But what might be a visualization of this? Why might be another reason this might be happening? We go to our friend Veritasium from a video from, I think, a year or two ago, talking about spinning bodies. I think this is in the space station. They're doing a little test. Apparently, it was a Russian cosmonaut that discovered that when one of those wing screws came off, it just started flipping, and it was fantastic.
What you are looking at is known as the Janabekov effect, or the tennis racket theorem, or the intermediate axis theorem.
Yeah.
But
so basically, you got that thing, all right? It's basically a T. Go back to it. Boom. So,
effect.
Okay. When you flip that, it starts spinning, but then it will flip. And then it will flip again. It's almost like some form of, I don't know, some almost torsional energy, perhaps from some form of inertia from something. And then it flips. This may or may not be why I was kind of conjecturing. I'm like, that is it like electromagnetism all the way down? I'm just like, I don't know. I've speculated on this before. It's a very fun thing. It's a fantastic effect. The science is amazing. I conjecture we're probably going to be. I need to look at some equations at some point after this. But we go back to, we'll go on the last video. We've been bloviating for 1337 a couple seconds ago. But all right, got the show Ragnaros from Heroes of the Storm. All right, we go to our friend Anton Petrov. What's going on, my man?
Specifically, we're going to be discussing the idea behind the magnetic flip of the magnetic field of our planet, where the magnetic lines flip from north to south. Something we know happened in the past many times. As a matter of fact, previous studies have identified hundreds of such events by looking at various deposits and various sediments, where it becomes quite visible that
the different sediments would align depending on the magnet. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. When? Oh, this is 7 months ago. Anton is on top of a lot of this stuff. It's a worthwhile channel if you like a lot of that different stuff and things. If that's what floats your boat. But yeah, so apparently the magnetic field flipped. I mean, is this something that we can see? I mean, this would affect compasses, right? I don't know. I probably should have done more research, but apparently, because people are saying the Earth's core stopped, so well, what happens if you're going to change direction? It's like, all right, you got a ball rolling uphill. It slows, maybe momentarily stops and then flips. I mean, maybe that's what's happening. Or maybe it built some inertia and just did the kind of like a tennis racket. Because apparently, if you toss it, it goes in a weird direction. But hey, just something to put out there. Does it explain what's going on with us? I mean, it's not like everything affects everything. I don't know. But be said, everybody, be safe, and especially if you're in certain necks of the woods, stay toasty. It's cold outside. Take care, everyone.
Have you guys checked out the Memes of Destruction's channel? He's an interesting dude. I like him.